Hi, in this video, I actually just want to quickly show a demo of a quiz app that I created. So this app is actually good for a teacher. Maybe they actually want to test his students, then maybe also for employers that actually want to interview some clients. So now what we're going to do now, I will try to log in. Once we log in, then we'll quickly look at the features of the application. And this application is designed with React, Spring Boot, and MySQL. So I'll try to log in now so that we can actually see that. I'm going to log in as an admin for now. So here's the admin details. Then we log in successfully. So immediately we log in now, we have the dashboard, we can create a test, we can view result if there is result. So let's actually even click on the result and see if there's any result there. For now, we don't have any result available. So if you come back to dashboard here now, we can actually select some of the subjects because those ones we added them dynamically and they are coming from the database as well. So if I click on Java now, we see that we have the details of the test. So all the details are actually here. We can add questions to this particular test. We can view the question. We can edit the test. Then we can also delete this test. So what we are going to do now, let's quickly try to create to add the test. Or the first thing we're going to do now, let's try to actually even create a test first. We'll come here, we'll try to create a test. Let's say, for example, now I actually want to create a test. I think I have some sample of test here. So let's come down. I'm going to create a test on data structures. Then we'll go back, then I'll put the name here. Then let's say time per question, 10 seconds. Then the mark is also 10, and I'll add some description. So let's come back here and add the description here. Okay. All right. So I think I'll change this one to computer science. I think it will be better. Computer science. All right. So once we are done with this, then I'll create the test. So we have it now that test created successfully. So if we go back to dashboard here, and we come back here now, you see that we have extra test. So if I click on this now, you can see that we don't have anything yet. That is the time. That is why the time is 00 because we've not added any question yet. Because whatever questions we add is being determined by the time per test. Because we already said that okay, we're going to have like 10 seconds per test. So if we add one test, it's going to tell us that okay, we have 10 seconds for that particular test. If we add more, it will be 20 seconds. So it means that if we add more of them, so the higher the questions, the time, the higher the total time will become. So now what you are going to do now, if you try to, we already try to create a test, we can actually even delete this test as well if you want to do that. So what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to leave it like this. Then I'll try to log out so that we can actually answer a test. So I'll log out now. For log out, I'm going to log in as one of the user one at then I'll put the password, then log in. So as a user, when you log in, you see that you are not seeing creators. The creators is only belongs to the admin. So if I try to view my result, I don't have any result here because I've not write any test. So now let's go back and try to create. We'll look at the different tests available, but this one we don't have any test. I can't take this one because there's nothing in there for now. So I'm going to go for the Java programming, then I'll try to take the test. So when we try to take the test now, you see that the time start counting down. So I added some layer here. Like for example, now if I try to navigate, let me try to open another tab. Then if I come back now, look at it. If you switch tab again, your test will be submitted. So you only have one warning to switch a tab. So now I will try to answer this question and submit so that we can actually see the output as well. All right. So the first one is telling us what is the correct syntax to output hello world in Java. So I believe that the first one is the answer. We click on that. So let's go to the next one. How do you create a variable with a numerical value 5? So I think a variable with numerical value 5. So we have int x5. So here is it. Then we'll go again. Then what data type is used to create a variable that does not exist that stores text? I think it should be string. Let me quickly. Oh, So look at what happened now. I actually wanted to submit, though I did that purposely. So I actually wanted to submit the test, but I ran out of time. So I look at it, test submitted successfully. You will now be returned to the dashboard. All right, so I'm back to the dashboard now. If I try to go back here now, you see that I don't have take test. What I have now is for me to view my result. So when I click that, I have this here. So here is my result. I can also come here to view the results. For now, I only have one result. So let's go back and try to write another test on Python. So here we can take the test as well. So we're having 45 now, meaning we have, if you calculate it, that is 15 seconds. That is, we have three questions here also. So let's go and try that as well. So this time around now, we already seen how that, okay, if you try to navigate from the test, we're going to have a warning, and when we try that multiple times, the test will be submitted. Now, when I try to refresh also, if I refresh, the test will be submitted. If I go back, the test will also be submitted. So once you are in this page, you are not allowed to navigate. The only thing you just need to do is just to focus and answer your question. So what is the correct? And another thing that we have here is that I made sure that the test shuffle, both the options and the test shuffle. So meaning if another person is trying to write a test, so don't expect that if you're having one, the other person may have his own first question as the fifth question, like that. So I run out of time again, and I have test submitted successfully. You will now be returned to the dashboard. So if I click OK, then come back here, and I can come here and try to view the result. And for now, no percentage because I didn't answer any question. All right, so what I'm going to do now, let me quickly log out and let's see something that we can do as an admin as well. So for example, now let's say you don't actually even have an account, you can actually register as well. So you register, you put your own information and do the registration. So for now, let's log in back again as an admin. So then I'll put a password for the admin, then we log in. Oh, so, okay, I'm trying to log in as an admin and I'm using the password of an admin. That's why I'm having bad credentials. So I'm going to change this one. I think that should be the issue. Then the password should be okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do now, I'll come to HTML here because we don't have any text on the HTML yet. So what I'm going to do now, I'll add question. If I come here now, I can just put any question. So I'll go back to my notepad. I have some question on HTML here. So I'll just add, like, let's say a question. I think it will be okay for that. Then go back, add a question. So what does HTML stands for? So I have the options here. We have hyperlinks and markup. All right, so let's quickly put that here. So I need more options, so I'll add another option here. Then I'll go back here and pick some. Okay, add another option, go back again. Let's pick another one here. Then add the extra option. So I will only add this. Press start, then I'll choose the correct answer. So the correct answer here is what? Hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language, which is option 3. So I'll pick that, which is this one. Then I'll add the question. Now I'll have this question added successfully. So if I go back to my dashboard now and I go back to HTML, you see that we have 10 seconds because we added only one question. So if I come to the next one here now, I can actually edit here. If I click on the edit, look at it, I can edit a lot of things here. Let's say, for example, now I want to edit the time to 20 per seconds. Then I will update that, updated successfully, go back to dashboard, and I come here now, you see that the time has been changed to 20 seconds as well. All right, so I can actually delete it if I don't need it. If I click on this one, are you sure you want to delete the test? If I click that, test deleted successfully, so the test is no more here again. All right, so if I try to view result now, I think I have this result for this particular user. So, and one thing with the table, you can actually filter it as well. Let's say, for example, now I need normal user. my user one. Okay, it's only one user that we have here. So let's try to log out again and log in with another user that we have here. So I'll log in with user2 at demo.com, then input the password and log in again. All right, so for this user2 now, let's try to write test on HTML. So look at the information we're having here. Are you sure you want to take this test? Once started, the timer will begin and you cannot navigate away. So let's start the test. It's 10 seconds. If I try to navigate back now, look at it. This action is not allowed. Your test will be submitted. So there's no warning for that. The only time that you have warning is when you navigate from the tab. All right, so test has been submitted successfully. So if you come back here now, we only have what view your result. So as okay, so let's write another test for here. This time around, I'm going to make sure that I submit everything. All right, so let's continue. So how do you create a variables in Python? So I think it's like this. Then we'll move on. So what is the correct file extension for Python? It should be py. Then how do you print hello world in Python? I think it should be print hello world. So we submit. That is it. Test submitted successfully. We'll return back to the dashboard. So if we try to check our result here now, you see that we have a oh, correct answer. Probably during the setting, I think that is where I did not set it correctly. All right, so now we have this. All right, so if I come here now, I can view my result as well. Okay, so if I go back to the dashboard here now, for Java also, let's try to answer the Java correctly and let's see. What is the correct syntax to output hello world in Java? So here is the correct option. So move on. What data type is used to create a variable that should store text? That should be string. So then the next thing, how do you create a variable with a numerical value 5? So that should be int. So submit that, submit successfully, go back to the dashboard. So if I come here now and try to view our result, you see that we have 100%. So let's log out again and try to log in as an admin. So I will log in as an admin. Come back here, put the admin password. So once we log in now, try to view results, you see that we have different users with their test. So if I try to search for only user one, now it should give me the result for only user one. So if I come here, try to search that only user one, I can actually delete their test if I want to, then delete it, meaning it's having only. So once you delete, so the person can actually rewrite that particular test. So, all right. So as an admin, I think we'll try to look at how we can add tests, delete tests, but let's view tests. If I click on this here, so it's going to view the question that this one is having. So if I come here, look at it now, we can actually edit the question if we want to do that. So if I click on the edit now, it takes me back here, look at it. I can do whatever I actually want to do. Let's say, for example, now I'll just put dash 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 here, then I'll update the question, updated successfully, and here it is. So I can actually delete it if I actually want to do that. So that is just a quick demo of the application. So, and it's actually, as I said before, if you're an instructor or a teacher, so it's very good so that you can actually use it to create a test for your students for them to use. Also, if you're a company that try to interview some people, maybe they need to write some exams, you can actually use it for them. So at least it takes away a lot of things from there, like something that you're supposed to be doing manually, like marking and the rest of them. You don't need to stress yourself about that. So, and at the same time, the test is very secured as well. So thank you for that.